up quite commonly in workshops that I run. People saying, you know, I send emails out for feedback. Maybe I'm sending a report or something out that I need multiple people to comment on, and then I just spend so much time chasing up to try to get a response. And I get how frustrating this can be. I've certainly had this experience myself before. So tonight I just want to share 5 key tips with you that may make a difference in how quickly people respond to your emails when you need that feedback. Number 1 won't surprise those who have been in training with me before or who have read my book, and it has to do with not apologizing. Something that I want you to do after watching this tonight or tomorrow when you're at work is to check your sent box and see how many of your emails start with the word just. Just is a massive apology word. It's one we use to talk ourselves down a lot in face-to-face conversations. Oh, I'm just a mum, or I'm just part-time, or I'm just in admin, or whatever it might be. We talk ourselves down. We use it a lot in emails, and we often start emails with just a quick email, just checking in, just wondering if you've had a chance to read my report yet, just hoping I could get your feedback. Now, when we do this, when we start off an email with just, we are apologizing for doing our job. We're apologizing for taking up space. And we are diminishing the power of our words. Now, this does have a really big impact, because you think about it. If you're seeking feedback from your boss, maybe they're really flat out busy, they're getting up to 100 emails a day. If they then open yours and it's just a quick email, what they're doing is oftentimes going, oh, good, this can wait. I'm not even going to get to the bit 5 lines in where you tell me you're on deadline, because it's just a quick email. So be really conscious of this. Now, I appreciate that for a lot of people, we use just at the start, particularly women, to soften our words. We're conscious of not being perceived as the bitch. So, I better say just a quick email. But as I said, it really does diminish the power of your words. So you can still be very polite, but drop the word just. You know, could you please review this for me? Okay, be specific, be polite, but drop that word just, and go through your sent box and see how often you do it, and really make that an action from here on in. I've worked with people who have made that one small change, and it has been a game changer in the responsiveness of colleagues and stakeholders to their emails. Number 2, use the subject line. Okay, use the subject line of your email to politely let the person know what you need from them in that email. So, for example, if I was sending out a media release for someone to review, my subject line might be, please review, media release for approval by midday Thursday. Okay, so then the person who, just by looking at the subject line, knows that there's an action they need to take and knows when that deadline is. Okay, you know, please review. You're still being really polite, but straight away they can say, oh, this is important. I'm not going to let that get buried in my inbox. So use that subject line. Number 3, do let people know when you need a reply by, and crucially, why. So make sure you say, and build in some leeway. Okay, don't leave it till the last minute. It might be, say, if I was on deadline with media, say I needed to have it to the media by 5 o'clock Thursday. I might say, you know, any comments or responses need to be received by midday Thursday, as I then need to incorporate them into the final media release to meet deadline by 5 p.m. Okay, so then the person receiving it, one, they know what their deadline is, but they also know that there's a reason for that. Sometimes people just say, I need it by this time on this day. And we can be guilty of thinking, well, do you really? Like, what's the big deal if I don't get it to you by then? You know, and they may not understand the ramifications of missing that deadline. You know, the common one that I hear from people where they are sending out a report, maybe it's a board report, and you need multiple people in your organization to contribute. You know, that one person might not realize that actually you have to incorporate 8 different people's responses, get it all back in check and get it to the board by that deadline. So again, make it really clear when you need the information by and why. Number 4 is send a reminder. Now, I know some people will say, I shouldn't have to send a reminder, I've already told them. Again, as I say so often when it comes to communication, it really isn't about who's right and who's wrong. It's, do you want the best out of people or not? Do you want the best chance of getting your information on time or not? It's not about chasing people and, you know, being pestering, but it might be. If a week ago I asked you for feedback on the report and I asked it for tomorrow, Thursday at midday, it might be that first thing tomorrow morning I send out an email reminder, you know, heads up, the feedback for the report is due at midday today. Okay? Again, you're setting people up for success rather than waiting for the deadline. This is a tip that I often encourage people to use in their personal life too, if they're getting RSVPs for things like weddings, because people are notoriously bad at RSVPing. So it can be a good one. Just send that reminder rather than after it's passed. Couple of days before. Reminder, RSVPs close in 2 days. The 5th one is really important, but you've got to be careful in how you do it. Let people know what will happen if they don't submit their feedback in time or they don't get back to you in time. Now, this isn't about threatening. It's not about saying, oh, well, if you don't do it, I'm, you know, going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. It's not about that. But sometimes it does have ramifications. You know, I spoke with someone a few months ago now who she was dealing with someone who was very slow to respond, and she was running a program that was for people in the community, and there was a wait list for this program. And this one guy from another organization was consistently late in putting forward people for this program. And she came to me and she said, I'm so frustrated. What do I do? And I said to her, you need to let him know that if you don't hear from him by this date, you will be offering the position to the people on the waiting list. Now, that's not a threat. You need to follow through on it though. Okay, it's not a threat. It's letting him know the full picture. This is what will happen. We've actually got a waiting list. So if I don't hear back from you by this date, we will allocate the position to the next person. And by doing that, you are really putting the ball in his court. Now, the thing is, if you say you're going to do that, you need to stick to it, because some people will test you then. Well, what happens if I still am late? And then if they get away with it, they fall back into bad habits. So there's 5 tips for you tonight. I hope you find them useful. I really want you to give them a go because they can make a huge difference in how quickly people respond to your written communication, particularly email. So good luck. Remember, if you have a question for me, send it through. I am considering changing from a live format for Ask Leah to a pre-recorded short video, still answering your questions and possibly looking at changing the time of those, keeping them shorter, sharper, and sending them through in the morning rather than in the evening. If that is something that you think would work for you rather than live, please let me know. If you love them live, please let me know that too. Thank you to CJ, Caitlin, and Jason for watching tonight, and I will see you all again next week. Cheers.